Why hello and welcome back to another episode of Voice of the Rings. I am your host and guide, Zollin Ironshield, and today I want to give you a quick little calendars you can get. I will link both of these in the description for you as usual, and they are pretty cool. We're gonna go through them, look at them real quick, and see if you guys want to buy them for your 2024 year. Okay, so again, we're a couple months out from 2024, but they are already being sold, so I thought I'd give a review for you guys. So here is the back of this one. This one is more classical art by, I believe, John Howe, right? Alan Lee, sorry, for this one. Very cool. All right. With an introduction by Brian Sibley, which is also another big name in that whole thing. So, again, we got a nice view of, this is the flooding of Numenor, right? So let's go ahead and go through this one and see what we got. So here is the forward. Oh gosh, it is. That's a lot of words. So we're just going to say, picture of the Second Age illustrated the fall of Numenor. So this is information about that picture. We're not going to read through that. We're just here to see the images and see what they have for the calendar dates, okay? Okay, so here is a close-up. So we got this first one. Some beautiful art. It's a battle. You can see a dragon has been slain. Again, just give you a nice little view of it there. This is the host of Valinor descends into Angband. Remember that battle from the Second Age or the First Age? I can't think of that off the top of my head. In the Great Battle of Tumos, the fall of Throng. Yeah, there we go. There's the information. Foundation. Okay, so and then what we got for January, it looks like they've got Tolkien Born. There's the information from Wednesday. That's good. New Year. They got some of the generic holidays. They've got some beautiful art actually on the thing, which is really cool, of the boat there. So very cool. All right. Anyway, I'll just give you a quick glimpse of that. And then we have February, which has this art. That's pretty nice. Again, it's a little challenging for me to not bump the camera while I try to show you this big, long thing. There we go, of art. Gorgeous. Beautiful. It's pretty big compared to my hand, right? Like that's a pretty big piece of art. Looking west from, sorry, I bumped the camera. Don't want to do the wiggle thing. Very cool. February, there's all the things that's on it. Again, this is more based for USA version of it. So if you're buying this in Europe, you want to probably buy it from your version so they have your holidays and stuff. All right, March, and again, beautiful artwork right there on the actual side here. Usually they only do art on the top, so I kind of think that's really cool. There's down there, we got Easter and all that kind of stuff. One of the best holidays. All right, for its reason, not for chocolate, I can tell you that. There we go. Look at that. That's gorgeous. That's a beautiful piece of art. I love the rim, too, around it. Looks fantastic. I love it. What do you guys think? Again, I'm sorry I'm bumping the camera. It's really hard to get it. The camera has a stand, so every time I try, I'm going to move the camera back just a tiny bit. See if I don't bump it every few seconds on you here. All right. All right, there's April. The building of Barad-dûr. There's all the dates and stuff they have for US. And then there is the building of Barad-dûr. Gosh, that art is gorgeous. It's beautiful. Beautiful art. Of course, Alan Lee, man, he's like one of the other masters of the art of Tolkien's world. All right, we got May. There's some mining going on there. The forging of the rings. So this is very cool. Look at this art. Wow. Look at that. That's pretty cool. So which one's Anatar? Probably this one, right? I don't know. I'm not sure what that. All right, let's see. Next one. We have June. And again, more art in the back with one of the rings. Galadriel leads the elves through Moria. There's the stuff that's on it for that month. And then we go to the art. I love this piece of art. Oh, look at that. It's gorgeous. Just the fact that Galadriel's like, no, we're going to go through Khazad-dûm, and then all the Dwarven Lords are like, oh, let us give you gifts. You're the best. She's just, her personality and character is so amazing how Tolkien wrote her. She's definitely not stubborn or warmonger, I can tell you that. The Temple of Sauron. Oh, good. Dude, I bet that's Anatar or Sauron. Oh, yeah. There's what's on that month. Okay, so this is probably on Numenor. when they started worshiping Sauron and like killing, like putting people to slavery and stuff. Yeah, all the evil started with Sauron. Well, technically it didn't start with Sauron, but you know what I'm saying. All right, so we've got August. Again, more artwork of some boat shipyards, it looks like there on the left. And then Alfarazon assaults Valinor. So there's a lot of the art from the new illustrated books, by the way, of Alan Lee did for the new Numenor book, that they just basically put parts together. It's not really a new book. It's like they took all the parts and put it in order, basically, from all of the different Tolkien books, which, I mean, makes it a lot easier to study the history then. All right, then we have the fall of Numenor, and there's what we got for September. National Day for, what do we got? Labor, Tolkien, that's sad. That's the day Tolkien died. Okay, well, The Hobbit published, the 21st. A lot of cool stuff. Where, did they have Hobbit Day on here? What? Why would they not have Hobbit Day on the 22nd? Come on. Get with the program. Get with the program, calendar makers. That's a amazing piece of art. That's the art you see on the front of the new Numenor book too. But gosh, you can see this is like one of like Anatar or something. He's like, no, and this. That is, well, what happens when you start sinning, guys. You're gonna get hit by a giant tidal wave. Good thing the rainbow says we'll never be flooded again. God's promise. That's a good thing. All right, we got October here. Return of the King was published, 1995 on the 20th. Very cool. When he finished his 3 series. Look at that art. That looks fantastic, doesn't it? So Gil-galad crosses the Misty Mountains. I guess when they're going to war in the Second Age to fight Sauron, and that's what I'd assume that's from. November. There's the dates of everything. Thanksgiving. Last alliance of elves and men. By the way, look at that art of him right there. That's pretty cool. And then we got December. Again, oh, and look at, see the ring right there falling in the water? That is the art of Isildur jumping in the water after the ring when it betrays him, right? And the orc shooting him. That's such a cool piece of art. A little dark for December, but got some down here too. All right, do we got anything else on this? Oh, and then for 2025, they got a whole little mini calendar for the next year, just in case you don't buy your next one. And then that's got beautiful, it's got this piece of beautiful art. Gorgeous. Kind of thinking of like cutting some of these out after the year's over and just like using it on the wall. Beautiful art. All right, well, there's that one. You're interested in that one? I'll link this one. I know I can link that one for sure. I don't know if this one's still sold right now, but if I can find it, I will link it for you. But let's go ahead and look at it. Here, let me remove this cardboard. Check it out. So we have the Lord of the Rings, the 16th month calendar of Frodo. So this one is pictures of the characters from the movies, okay? So we have an opening. Oh, that is gorgeous. Look at how they did the font. It's got the oh, that font is really nice. Really nicely done. Very, very nicely done. And then, oh, we have a picture from the movie. That is very, very happy picture with Gandalf and Bilbo just having coffee. Isn't that nice? Not coffee. They're having a pipe smoking with their tea or whatever. Maybe they're having coffee. I don't know. Then January. Oh, I really like how they did the font. That is nice, and how you can have lots of area to write things. If you're someone who likes to write on your calendar. I don't really do that very much. I just use my phone. So mainly I do this just to see dates. And then we have, I really like how they did that. The Balrog. It's really nicely printed. Very clear. I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's very, very clear. And there's even an edge. Little edge there. That's really cool. All right, so then we've got February. I love the font, and there's all the days they have on it and things. Family Day, they have stuff for Canada and Mexico on here, though. So I guess this is kind of an everybody calendar. Every country, what I mean by that. There we go. That's a pretty cool shot from the movie. It's just cool to see the actual, remember those moments, you know, from the movie. I think that's one thing I like about this. March. And then it looks like we have Arwen. Man, she's a perfect Arwen. She's so pretty. Here, guys, this is what you can put on your wall without it being weird. Modest. Well, I mean, maybe a little bit more skin than usual, but it's still modest, I feel, in my opinion. All right, April. You guys can giggle. That was a joke. April. This is pretty cool. Earth Day. Oh gosh. Yes. Not that I don't want to take care of the Earth, but oh, dude, that is. Look at that. That is so epic. And this page is for the girls. Oh, I'm just kidding. Joke. Yes, I have this helmet right there on the wall, and I have this shield over there behind me. Very cool. That is epic awesomeness, dude. I gotta review these for you guys. These pieces of armor on this playlist. May, there's all the things for it. And then here is it's that moment in the story. Cool. Very cool. I like how Grima's just on the floor over here, knocked out. Or no, that's not Grima. That's one of the ruffians. Oh, this is the boom, 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 boom. No. Right moment. We got the whole they're running down, dude. That is awesome. What a great shot. It's really well. They've I think they've done it to be clearer for the picture than the movie even. It's cool. The remastered movie version. There's the bottom of that one, June. All right, we're getting there. We're almost done. We got July. There's everything July. Here's Boromir. Oh, amazing. He looks fantastic. I just love how they did his costuming and this. Oh gosh. And I have this. I have both of these sword and this horn. I don't know if I've reviewed it yet in the collection playlist, but I will. I promise. I'll do it someday. August. We'll get it done. Wow, there's nothing on here. We got something for Canada. Civil holiday. There you go, Canada. There's not real much on this one compared to the other calendar, right? I guess the other calendar has a little bit more info. Honestly, I'd rather there be less and just be able to write in my own stuff. It's a really cool shot of them coming. Gosh, these are really nice prints. Really high quality prints. I always find that with calendars, they seem to be really high quality prints. September, one of my favorite months. And by the way, no, it just says fall begins. It's supposed to have Hobbit Day. Okay, that's okay. But one of my favorite characters of all time, Gimli. My dog, look here, my dog. He's like, yes, ruff, Gimli. It's me, Sandy. It's me. October, I think he thinks someone's outside and it's me talking in here. All right, very nice. There we go. There's Frodo and Sam. Very nice indeed. Great art. They're such good. I mean, I know they're great friends in real life, not to the actors, but they did such a good job of portraying. Excuse me. I always have trouble with that word. The friendship, you know. It's just, that picture just catches it. It's really cool, that brotherly friendship. All right, and then we got November. Thanksgiving, all right. And Aragorn. So epic. He is just the coolest dude. What a perfect actor they got. December. It's all the days and stuff we have. Saruman in his dude. That room is so cool. I forgot how many things are behind him in that spot. Wow, that's cool. Looks a little bit like my room. Not quite. I wish I had a fortress to live in. No, all right, and there's the back, in case you're wondering, but it's everything we just looked at. All right, my friends, what do you guys think? Leave your comments, like, subscribe if you like Lord of the Rings content. Again, this is more of a, little update video on these. I'll link them in the description if I can find them again. And you guys have a great, wonderful day, Miller. Thanks to my Patreons. Subscribe. Next episode's up there. And over there is a LOTR where I do voiceovers on the Lord of the Rings Online. Baruch Hazad Kuzan menu. Stay happy, my friends. I'll see you in the next one.